Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Continental War #2. This is the second series. This is the series between NHN and the Argentinian clan team. Over on the left side, we have in green, purple, and teal. In purple, we have Tia Haribel playing as the Saracens. As his pocket, we have Hiraguchi playing as the Persians. And in teal, we have Letukan playing as the Indians.
And he's facing Tatake, Mr. God, and their pocket this time is student, lacking husbandry, but pretty strong eco if he goes onto a lot of knights and later maybe paladins. And Maxi is the flank here with hunts.
So what do you think about the pocket positions? I personally like the Teutons in the pocket position probably as the best in this one because I think they have little versatility as a flank. And the Persians as a pocket is, of course, very strong too, although I think I'd probably prefer... I like Persians in the pocket because they have little versatility as a flank as well.
Yeah, I agree. You kind of need to have a transition for the Indian clan. Maybe he goes on to CA, maybe directly into Camels and Castle Age. But, well, you need to transition there. On the other side, Saracens obviously have a beautiful transition into Arbalest for sure.
Yeah, I'm a little curious. I think the matchup on the very top between Letukan and Takade will be an interesting one between those two civilizations because obviously if Letukan doesn't have access to knights, so if it does somehow get into an infantry or Huskar spam, say if Letukan wants to go archers early on, then that would be interesting to see how the camels match up in that particular situation. Might be a situation where the Goths could potentially thrive, I think, in my opinion.
Goth is so tricky. You cannot really wall off. Obviously, if you get your 60 farmers running, you can decide a game on your own. But it's so tricky to get onto this. Something else I noticed, look at the sheep of our purple player. He missed one, and well, let's see when he finds the last remaining sheep there.
Oh, it's in a position that he may not find. He's going to put his mill up over there. There's no reason why he would go over there. Unless, I mean, at least the scout is kind of next to it because he's luring deer. But hopefully be able to make up for that lost food with those deer.
Yeah, it's not too important, honestly. He will go on to berries, and once the berries are running out, he will find that sheep and maybe even builds a second lumber camp in that direction anyways. So not too much of a problem.
So certainly less laming in this matchup, probably because the civilizations are less inclined to do that without the line of sight bonuses of the last game. On the bottom side, we have Saracens and Huns. Certainly the Huns should have a good advantage there. Hopefully we see the Saracen player going up with the market soon and try to make use out of that good advantage and the free Carta.
Uh-oh, other side, a villager going down here blue. What is Tukan doing? I'm speechless at the moment. He could have gotten the villager kill so easily. Blue with the horrible reaction, just trying to go back to his base instead of trying to quick wall the villager. And now he just idled the... What is this? Explain it to me, please. What happened?
I didn't catch it, so I can't explain it to you.
Okay, so it was in the north. Letukan was chasing down a blue villager, and midway to the TC, he just stopped walking forward, and then the villager stood idle. Yeah, well, what happened?
I see he doesn't have a loom, yeah. Anyway, Takate going to go with the barracks, so he's going to go with probably an early men-at-arms rush, and it's going to chase back the scout of Letukan, who's losing a lot of HP on his scout, might lose his scout in just a few minutes here. So, and Letukan's going to be the first to go up to the next age, so it looks like a scout rush from him.
Yeah, I think he will be fine, can go home. Still lacking a second lumber camp though, so pretty late transition. We'll go for very big walls at the front. I don't really think that that's too necessary if you are the one up the earliest anyways. And only 4 on wood. I think this is a weird build-up by him.
Yeah, certainly could be a little bit cleaner. At least he's Indian, so he should have advantage. That's a lot of walls for a... If you're going to go for a scout rush this early, you probably shouldn't be worrying about walls, I think. Kade's, of course, got his militia already out, so they should be moving across the map fairly shortly. Hopefully he can add a spearman to that. And interestingly, both pockets, of course, going for scouts. I really love the aggressive scout play from the pockets.
Yeah, I think it became pretty standard. Communication just increased so much. The lag decreased over the years, so you can reuse them.
Look over at Arg's base. He just walled in the scout and the lumber line. Red space?
Arc space? There are 3 Arc players.
Oh, Ramus Arc. My bad. Sorry. The red player.
Okay, yeah, he walled in the 1 scout and... Okay, yeah, we saw it.
The walls are fully up for our teal player here, Latucan, and those militia are going to have to battle a wolf right now. They're going to try to walk all the way around. Unfortunately, Latucan is kind of wall... You can't make a team wall out of this, so maybe those militia will go over to the pocket, which luckily will be doing scouts. And they shouldn't really find too much here in this situation. So it might be a little bit of a wasted drush from Takade. It looks like he's going to go for a fast castle.
Well, yeah, he plays Drush FC there with Goth. Kind of interesting for sure. In the meanwhile, while Tucan isn't going for the scouts, he went for Archer approach. Still only 1 lumber camp. That is not how it works, my friend. Already quite a bit on gold. And, well, he will reward. The Drush indeed did nothing.
Yeah, well, the scout play is kind of interesting. I mean, the archer play is kind of interesting. I would have liked to see scouts. Either way, I think any bit of aggression should be able to do some damage onto Takade because, of course, he can't stonewall behind it, and he's quite late to going up to the next stage. I imagine some archers being able to get through that wall and get to the gold.
Let's see about that. For now, walls are up, and, well, you still can defend with defensive towers as well. Blue's eco not too great. Well, let's see. I think the most pressure at the moment that we can see is over at purple and yellow sides.
Yeah, Harabel going with the Saracen men-at-arm rush. Not something you see every day, but perhaps the situation called for it. Arg, 2 archery ranges straight away. I assume didn't make any militia, which is a little bit unusual. Both players on that particular team going straight archers. And hopefully they'll be able to defend from these men-at-arms rush without taking too much damage.
Yeah, but can he really go straight archers? He only has 2 on gold at the moment, now sending number 3 and 4. Horrible gold spot for him in general. And, well, he might need to mix in some skirmishes. Meanwhile, first archers are coming over towards blue.
Yeah, and they'll have to hit on those walls for quite a bit. Will Takade be able to pull off a clean, fast castle here? He's got tons of resources. He should be able to do it.
Yeah, it is pop 33, which is kind of high, and you say the archers will take some time, but remember, it's Saracen team bonus, so if you just started to work on them now, I think it could be really tricky for our player in the blue to defend that. Now he's trying to go for Ramis, but he is safe as well.
Poor Latucan forgetting about the Saracen team bonus. I've lost games because of that bonus before, but you hardly ever think about it. But certainly, I think it would have been a better option for Latucan to go for Takade in this situation, as opposed to going to Aramis.
Take a look. We see now Aramis actually defending quite a bit here. Maxi playing this defensively. Scouts are going over from green now towards the center. Seems like no one is really taking any damage. Look at overall KD. It's only 4 units going down the whole game.
Yeah, a lot of players going with very defensive playstyles. A lot of walling coming up. Faster castle ages. Those archers are getting through that wall quite quickly. They are on top of the hill. And luckily, Latucan is not paying too much attention. So Arg is going to be able to house wall behind.
Yeah, that is just sloppy by him. And, well, some aggression over at the left-hand side, so they might come in here. Walls already going down pretty low, and I don't like those walls from our player in the red here. I think they might break through.
Yeah, they absolutely should be able to get through. And here comes those men-at-arms coming from all the way across from the left side of the map. Scouts are in right now. We have a few scouts coming in from Aramis to help hopefully try to defend. But it looks like at least 1 villager should go down. Yeah, here we go. 1 villager down. Scout's going to come in, try to save her. And that spearman is certainly going to do a little bit of work.
Well, he took quite a lot of damage before he got the first shot off, so that was pretty bad by him. And, well, now the archers are coming over, more scouts as well, and Red, he is taking some losses.
Yeah, this that villager on a little bit of a suicide mission to try to get that wall up. She's not going to get it. And this is a little bit of a concern if you're a red player here, as he's trying to wall in his wood line now.
Luckily for him, gold and wood are all kind of protected by his TC. He gets the market up. This will be annoying. Idle eco for sure. I think 2 villager losses, and that should be it. He pays good attention. Oh, makes it 3.
Gonna make it 4 on the bottom too. Next to the blacksmith.
Good 4. Okay. And now even sends another villager, low HP villager to the front. So I don't like this defense from Red at the moment. Why would he ever finish those walls? Like, how does he think that will be enough?
I have no idea. This is a little bit of a Titanic play. The scouts are going to move in from Higurashi. I think he's just going to lose them, though. They're pretty low. Maybe try to get one more villager. This has been so much damage onto Aramis, though, that he's going to be quite late going up to the next stage, I imagine.
I think Teal might even do a suicide move here and run through the TC, try to get onto stone, gold and wood here in the back. Let's take a look. Tries to kill the scouts first. Maybe some debation, then run through. At the moment, 29 villagers only for our red pocket here.
Yeah, so he's going to try to make some knights and hopefully defend. However, Latukan is also up to the next stage, so he can upgrade a crossbow right away, and once again, getting through those walls very quickly.
Now tries to get a house behind that, but only 6 HP, and villagers getting blocked. I think they're running through there, and Red, he continues to be in some trouble, and just both flanks, they cannot really help. Yellow in some trouble here as well. Haribo doing some damage, and Blue, well, he goes for the aggression himself.
Considering how slow this game started out, this has been a lot of action in the last few minutes. Great team play from NHN, all players coming in at the exact right time, to be able to get through Red's walls. And now it's really paying off for them, doing so much damage onto Arg. It's not looking unlike Philip in the last game. And yeah, this is a terrible situation for him.
Yeah, and, well, NHN, they have been around for, I believe, like 2-3 years now. Had some great players for some times, but never really had a good showing in any team game tournaments. And I think for Forever, who's really trying to build a team, this might be finally the day where one of his teams might finish in money places.
That would be a great achievement for those guys, but they'll have to keep up the pressure in this particular situation. Takate's been doing, I mean, he's been messing up quite a few archers. We have some good walls from Latukan, and hopefully Arg will be able to hit back as he's about to get through the walls in the north.
Take a look here. Needs to get the upgrades in as well. Oh, got more losses here for our player in red. And that's just ugly. Maybe blue can do something. Teal tries to defend, not a defensive tower. Green is coming over with knights as well, though. So I think they will clear it up eventually.
Yeah, hopefully with some good play. One of those knights is pretty low, but I think, yeah, these archers should get cleaned up. And that'll be a very heavy loss for our Arc team.
And he's the one who really needed to do some damage because purple against yellow looked somewhat evenish there at the side. Red completely dead. That meant actually that blue should have gone for heavy kills, something he couldn't really deliver.
Is this a little miscommunication at the north? They kind of went back with the knights. Maybe they're searching for these archers?
Well, knights don't have the greatest line of sight, right? And maybe just going in for the patrol. Now they're axed again. Should be going for it to finally get the clear up.
And meanwhile, back in Arg's base, losing more villagers. Or looks like he was going to, but can't actually engage the archers because he can't afford the upgrades on his knights.
Oh man, and yeah, oh, look at those knights as well. 13 and 15 HP. Did get another TC up though, so that's quite nice for him. But those crossmen, they can just shoot through those palisade walls if he wanted to. This just looks good. And the other side, yellow against purple, something we didn't see for quite some time. Yellow even sending over some army to help out his pocket. Very unprotected at the same time.
Yeah, certainly he'll need those skirmishers. They need to be upgraded a little bit better to take on the crossbows though. And it's amazing how long these crossbows have stayed alive in Red's base. Normally you don't stay around that long in your opponent's base.
Yeah, normally blue should have just sent the army back. Like, I think that's a big mistake that Blue didn't go for the clear up and try to help out his teammate, that he went for the aggression there. Red, I don't really see him ever coming back into this game. He is at 30 villages, his opponent, the other pocket, at 56 already.
Yeah, so luckily, I mean, he's got a small eco bonus with the Tudens. I would go big Knights play in the Castle Age to try to make up for how far behind he is. Looks like these crossbows still aren't going to get cleaned up by these skirmishers, which is quite unfortunate for their team.
Well,
close.
Let's see about that. And we said some problems here for yellow. Purple is moving in, tries to get some damage done. He's moving around quite nicely, blocking the gold, trying to move in into the woodline as well. And those are more villagers that can fit into the tower.
Yeah. Oh, man. Kind of losing on every side at this stage of the game, which is unfortunate. We had Takade losing his army in the north. Maxi's taking a lot of damage down in the south, especially on his gold, which he hasn't really noticed. And of course, Red is out of this game.
And okay, now big engagement here. Chitake, he is losing this fight against the Indian CA of Toucan as well, who has ballistics on the way. Tries to micro back a bit. Okay, they won't really take this fight, but at the moment, it's just pure dominance of NHN.
Yeah. Do you like this move, going Cavalry Archer from the Indians' flank?
Well, they transition a bit better than the crossbow, since you don't have Arbalest, right? And can upgrade to a heavy CA later on. So it is a good option. You also have mobility in team games. But, well, losing them like those, well, I'm not such a big fan of it anymore.
Yeah. Getting a lot of the upgrades, but still no bloodlines on them, so they're still pretty... not too tanky.
CAs didn't really do much. How does the eco look of our Indian player? He has 3 TCs running for himself, 71 villagers. Look at that. The villagers are just out of this world. Yellow is down to 32 as well and is getting raided more and more. His knight's not really having any great upgrades, and well, that looks like greatest economy for sure.
Yeah, so it's kind of like 2 players out of this game for the ARC team. However, Takada is, he's doing pretty good. He's up to 64 villagers. Maybe he could hit that 60 farmer benchmark, sometime in the next 20 minutes.
If he gets to 60 farmers, we will have a Persian player going for lead war elephants. Honestly,
yeah.
They are just too far behind here. No chance of ever killing any of the eco. Now going for the market here, Mr. Maxi. Maybe tries to juggle some, tries to maybe get another TC up, but that's so much army in his face. He could even lose his TC.
Oh god, yeah, here's the Rams.
They want to go for it.
It's serious when the Rams are going for your main TC, and my god, the woodline's terrible. The gold is horribly inefficient. There is nothing that Maxi can do to defend from this. Hopefully, Ramus is coming over with his knights. It's going to be a little bit of time. I don't think that's enough knights.
I don't think so either. That's not enough to defend here at all. And well, I did a challenge with my chat that for every conversion and every castle build, I will do a push-up after this game. And it feels like I won't be doing too many push-ups.
Oh, that's a shame. That kid is so strong.
Oh, yeah, I will stay weak. Just like the defense of Ark. Oh!
Oh! Sick bird!
Well, maybe that was one conversion here. Did I see? No, it's not a single purple. Oh, maybe lost one? I don't know. Well, we'll see. But now some conversions finally from the red player just shortly before they will resign this game, I believe, because look at the population. Honestly, 35 here. And now a castle finished by the blue player as well. So, well, the last 3 minutes have been bad for my arms.
I think they might. I mean, they might stay in this game because Takade's in a decent position. Especially going Huskarls against Cavalry Archers, but the key here is Yellow's dead, and also Higurashi's going into the Imperial Age.
Just look at the score. Like, it's like one game, one player probably screaming at them in TeamSpeak like, I can take this, I'm Goth, I boom for
Don't resign! Don't GG!
And well, even if he killed Teal, which I don't see coming, there's no way he can play a 2.5-3-1.
I think it's good though. If it's your team, you always look at the positives. So instead of looking at, well, we have 2 players that out of this game, we say, well, we have 1 player still in this game, and he could do some good damage. But obviously, as a spectator and as someone that's objectively watching this game, that we can see it's not quite as close as maybe they are hoping it is.
Yeah, and it's obviously like easier for us as well to see what's going on, right? Maybe red feels, okay, I'm back to 76 villagers, guys. I'm adding extra stables. I can come back here. Yeah, I might clear up this army. But in all honesty, like green will just steamroll this game as well.
Well, he should, ideally. I mean, you're hoping that your opponent would make a series of mistakes and you're going to make the right move to capitalize on them, but that hardly ever happens when you're playing against evenly matched players that are just as smart as you.
And we talked about 60 farmers from Goth a bit earlier. At the moment we are at 27 as well. Some of the villagers idle. He cannot even afford all the upgrades for his Huskarls here. And then the spam, he needs to break some walls first. We'll walk into masonry as well. So we'll even take some time, and at the moment he's even trying to go back and defend.
Yeah, so red space is completely destroyed. It's always game over once you destroy another opponent, and then you destroy the pocket as well because you have that army left over. But it's a great move by at least Teal in trying to get the best use out of his cavalry archers and slow down Takade as much as possible, because that's all he really needs to do is just slow down his opponent.
Well, maybe Ark wants to get some camera time as well. Obviously, there's not a lot of big tournaments for the non-top 8 tournaments at the moment. And, well, now another player got into Imperial 8. Their hopes can't get much higher.
Well, is any publicity good publicity? I'm not exactly sure. But,
that's what I heard.
Well, if they wall themselves in the corner, they certainly will be remembered. And they'll probably get a little post on the Age of Empires 2 Reddit, and maybe get some more clan members because of that.
Potentially. Maybe some more posts of you on Reddit as well. Maybe the second best weekend of all time.
I hope so. Oh, you gotta be positive, optimistic.
Okay, well, those knights were pretty optimistic as well, trying to fight off against Cavaliers and to be Arbalest on that hill without even having all their castle age upgrades. Yellow, well, he will just get the second blow in his face here, and meanwhile Red having so many troubles, Teal doing the damage against Blue, and finally the GG.
Yeah, finally the GG. Man, just great team play from the NHN team, just coming in at exact right moment, bringing their armies together to attack Aramis. And as well, Aramis, not the best reaction from him, going up with the extra town center later on, but great team play from NHN.
Oh, yeah, what can I say? I really dislike the move of attacky to go attacky instead of defending. Yeah, and then Red had just zero chance to really defend the 3v1 there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we had a total of 7 conversions and 1 castle. That's doable. Okay, then let's see you soon in game number 2, the home map of Ark, coming next.
Alright, so this will be, again, second game, home map of Arg. I'm excited for this. I think we'll see a different map, hopefully. Maybe border dispute. A lot of these are pretty fun. Hope everyone on my channel is enjoying the stream. My name is Nobody, of course. Joined here with Nilly. I'm going to take a 1-minute break and I'll be back in a second. Yeah, I hope so. I think this next game might be a 4 versus 4. 1, 2, 3. They're debating right now. I think that last game just... So Yellow didn't play the best on the South, but that game just imploded from one good team play at the very bottom. There's nothing going on for the first, 10 minutes of the game, and then all of a sudden, one good fight, getting through the walls with the men-at-arms, and that was it. It was a weird strategy. Well, some of the civilizations were a little weirder. Scouts made sense. Which part was the weird choice? I think both flanks went archers, which is pretty standard. Apparently, we probably could have seen more scouts from a red player in the early game. Fast castle crossbow versus Indians. And for the with those walls, I would have maybe seen. I don't know. It's hard when you have a civ disadvantage. So they're in the game right now. They should hopefully hit the start button pretty soon. The fast castle was definitely very weird, but they didn't really... It was very weird. I would have gone more feudal army at least. I was thinking maybe you could do men-at-arms, towers, but the resources weren't very forward there, so... And then Blue got kind of unlucky when he went the militia. Went over to the pockets base, but the pockets resources were all to the left side of the map and well defended as opposed to on the right side of the map, where the militia could have done some damage. Obviously the difference was the militia of purple did a lot of damage. When they upgraded men-at-arms, were able to get through the walls. So far, I do like the settings very much, though. I like the, well, I like that we see different clans and we see different teams. That's certainly been a very big plus. When you recommended the tournament to me, I saw the settings and really how good it looked. The website looks amazing. And it's a good thing that Mundo has a little more impact on his community. Do you talk about the civs for all the teams? Yeah, we do. We talk about them every game, too. Since it's 3 versus 3, we really don't see, you know, all the dynamics that are at play there. But I like very much the restricted civilizations. Unfortunately, the hard thing is the balance can be an issue if players have more time to figure things out. One thing about ECL, I wish the civ selection was a little more restricted. I don't think that would be as much of a problem if the balance testers updated things a little bit more. But right now, I think you see too many of the same civilizations in team games. Which is way better than it used to be. It used to be 5 civilizations max. Now it's like 10. But we still don't see like Goths, students, Persians, or Saracens at all in the most multiplayer tournaments. A little unfortunate. Yeah, I'm interested to see how they do. That's the thing. I don't know. Either they're gonna do really well or not so well, or they're going to, you know, be right there in the middle. But I'm interested to see how they do. Yeah, they don't need many buffs. There's some very, I'm very interested in balance, but there's some very simple, small ones that you could do to not totally change them, but just give them 1 bonus each, and you know, they're not terrible. A lot of the civilizations in Age of Empires are actually pretty close, but just something very small. Doesn't even have to be a civ bonus, could be a tweak to a unit or a unique unit. Game should be starting in about 20 seconds here. Not like anyone would argue the Tunans are a bad civ, but just a lot of civs do their job just a little bit better. I think a lot of people would argue the Goths are bad civ, though. Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to the second game in the second series in this particular Continental War II tournament. I'm joined here with Nilly, or at least I think I will be. And let me go message.
I'm ready, man.
Oh, you're ready? Okay, good, let's
Honestly.
go. Which map is this, do you know?
Let me check. This is called Rooster.
Oh, I've seen Rooster before. I don't remember. I haven't seen Rooster actually in a long time in a team game tournament, so it does look a lot different than the 1 versus 1 version. Let me introduce the ARC team. We have red, yellow, and blue. In the red flank, we have Aramis playing as the Huns. In yellow, as the pocket, we have Maxi playing as the Teutons. And in blue, we have Takade playing as the the Goths as the flank.
Yeah, so no changes there when it comes to the team, but they switch around a bit when it comes to the civilizations. We have Letukan playing the Indians again, Saracens for Hirogashi, so that's a small change because now Mr. Balls plays the Persians here. And Rooster, this will be a really interesting map, and look at that approach here from Mr. Purple.
What in the what? He's gonna try to wall off the water. Is that
it? This is just crazy talk.
Is that the reason behind this, to wall off the middle water, and then they're all gonna go in the middle?
Well, it looks like it, right? And then he forces his opponent to go to the outside. Red has zero idea. He's going for the scout fight in the south there as well. So he's laming the 1 boar. Maybe could go for the deer after that. And this will be so tough. I think Art needs to switch their strategy so that all of them go down and dock on the outside.
That is such an inventive strategy. This completely caught me off by surprise, and I'm sure it caught the ARG team, at least when they figure out when they figure out what's going on. But this is such a great strategy.
I think he still has no idea, right? He's still fighting with his own boar number 1. And, well, now we see some more walling off here. And we know that the Hans player, well, he will have 0 chances to dock the center there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be curious to see if he tries to... No, he's just going to dock at the back there. I wonder if that was the original strategy, was to dock in the back. I mean, this potentially does... this could potentially be detrimental to the to the NHN team if all the players from the ARC team decide to dock at the back, because obviously this is a lot of wasted resources, but we'll see what they decide to do.
Oh man, and this is so weird. 2 back docks and then this weird front dock from our blue player who has to play with 1 less board as well. This will be a horrible start. He will easily lose the water. And, well, if he was to face someone on the outside, but it seems like dock in the center for heal, dock on the outside from green. Again, team strategies that I don't really understand.
Okay, I thought they were all going to go towards the middle, which would make the strategy make more sense. I don't understand the dock position at all from Takade. So I'm a little confused on that front. And I just want to say, I think that because some of these maps are so different and there's such a big map pool, I think that a lot of these teams really have either no idea how to play these maps, you know, with respect to the map, or they have a great idea with, you know, what are some strategies that they could do, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I agree. It's like maps that we don't see too often. Obviously, it's Arabia always at the start, but then the whole maps you can really come up with some strategies. On this map, you should just go for the fast rush and most of the time win the game because water control in the center is just so important. Then again, I don't understand why we have our Saracens player not docking in the center.
A lot of players not docking in the center, which doesn't make any sense to me at all. Oh, I don't know. Maybe they know something I don't know, but I would assume all players should probably dock in the same place.
Yeah, well, there are some strategies in 4v4. You can come up with something there, like 2 in the center, 2 on the outside. That's how the old Tyrants played it. But
Do you think this is going to pay off for Barles, that he's taken all these resources? He's still got these 2 villages essentially idle as they're trying to finish this wall. Looks like might not be able to finish it.
Well, let's take a look. He needs the wall of that area there for sure. Didn't really finish it. That was a big mistake by him. Had the time, in my opinion, and now fights off 2 against 2 villagers, but has way less HP.
Yeah, but he's taking it. It's a decent fight. He might be able to kill that villager, which will be a small victory for him at least, where it could have been a lot worse. Is he going to kill it? Oh, they're both going to die at the same time. That's pretty funny.
Double kill there. Okay, so what are we seeing? The Tucan should probably go for some water. I don't understand how Higurashi is going up so quickly. Oh, he just wanted to have safe fish boom in the back and now goes for the center, but well, it will be 2 players investing into the center and they won't kill anything.
Well, at least they'll have safe fish. That's really a great benefit. I beat those galleys can still... There's the dock here for Maxi, so they can go after that, and they could just, you know, maintain water control. Certainly the galleys should be able to exert some sort of presence in the middle, which will be important later in the game.
This docks of Maxi makes 0 sense. They have 3 players on the outside, having full fish boom there, and then just building 1 in the center, just kind of blindly hoping that no one else is going for the water. That just makes 0 sense to me.
Would have made more sense if the fire ships could still do as much damage against the fishing ships, but they don't anymore, so... Yeah, but I agree. It makes no sense. There's 2 docks on the right for Ram as well. So he's got a lot of docks towards the outside island, so full grush from him. See what he could do.
Well, okay, so blue losing his fish, yellow will lose his fish for sure as well. And that's just bad team communication. The only guy looking somewhat stable is surprisingly red.
Yeah, well, I mean, the best reaction sometimes is no reaction. You know, his ally there was able to take out those villagers early on. And, yeah, he's doing pretty fine. Those walls not bothering him too much. And, in fact, they're only single layer thick. He could get through them probably at any point he wants to.
We'll see for sure. And, well, I was kind of confused. Purple actually with a pretty ballsy dock there on the outside, but scared away now. I really like the position here of NHN.
Yeah, purple's going to lose yet another villager actually on the bottom. It's still open, actually, on the right side of red space. Now red going to stonewall.
Oh yeah, broke through there. But oh, that's a lot of villagers trying to prevent that. Oh man.
Oh man, this is kind of like a little throw from purple. Maybe. I know that's a lot of villager idle time.
Well, he's trying to make something happen for sure. Now finishes the walls behind there. Now goes into the heavy villager fight. Let's take a look. He needs to find every villager though. It's 5 against 4 at the moment. Let's see if he finds the last one. The moment he does not.
So it looks like he might be able to deny this wall, which is good for him. Towards the middle, we have a little bit of galley battle going on. Fire galleys, that is. But this will be great fish for Latukan if he's able to pull these fishing ships alive. It looks like they have won the middle, not surprisingly.
Yeah, well, if no one contests the center, it's kind of easy, right? It's one demo build, and that's it for now. Yeah. I think the fish boom in the center should just be so good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It'd be a huge advantage for them. Surprisingly, a lot of battles, a lot of docks up in the North Lake between Takade and Latukan. So Takade's really going for a big play on the water despite not having any fishing ships. Obviously, he wants to keep his allies' fishing ships alive, but it's going to be some time before anything happens as far as on that front.
Only has one left, but honestly, what would that really give him? And it's such a long distance to his teammates as well. Docking in that like small river in between the islands never has the greatest fish either. I think it's just a huge mistake to ignore the center water on this map.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think that'll show itself even as the game goes later and later. Look at over at Barl's map, or Tia Haribo, whichever name you prefer. But looks like he's trying to wall in the stable of Aramis.
Yeah, seems like he will be successful there, still trying to fight off the villager. The scout of Tataki close by could help out quite a bit as well, and even has a tower up now as well. Should be pretty fine in that regard. Yeah, solid defense.
Yeah, so that's certainly a small victory, at least for Haribel. Trying to trush out his opponent as well. He's starting to work his way towards his town center. He does have okay access, okay control over the stone. I mean, he's got some walls there, but Aramis not actually taking any stone right now. So this is his one tower that he's going to be able to put up, I think. Is he taking stone?
Well, he is taking stone now and is sending some resources over to Tukan. No, Tukan gave him resources so that... What? I'm a bit confused. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I think that just defines this game. I'm a bit confused. Right as Aramis places a questionable mining camp.
Well, yeah. He just got gold so that he can build some more fire galleys to kill the fish of yellow. Who is redocking the center to get some fast fire ships out and suddenly contesting the center. Oh, not looking that bad for Ark anymore.
Yeah, trying to fix up their strategy from earlier in the game, I think. They still have some pretty decent fish. Our teal and green players, though, up to the next age. Ark hopefully will be able to make use out of this, this time advantage that he has. And it looks like he should get some good fishing ship kills here.
Yeah, no real defense there. Latukan doesn't really have anything. We see green now adding some fire galleys, but little too late, and that's just sloppy play by them.
Well, I think that Latukan invested too much into that small lake, which was pretty meaningless of him, and instead should have invested a lot more into the middle.
Yeah, I agree with that, and well, center could have been just so much better for sure. Maybe didn't want to face a landing from the blue player, but as a team strategy-wise, controlling the center and having all that running could have been so much better. Suddenly, Ark in a good spot.
Yeah, nice play from Ark. We questioned that dock earlier in the game, but with the fast castle, it makes a lot more sense. And this, I mean, kind of capitalizing on a bit of a mistake from NHN, again, not investing that much into the middle. So one mistake, one good move, and suddenly they might be actually in the driver's seat in this game.
It feels like it, right?
Yeah, it feels like they gave up an advantage.
Yeah, now everyone gets castle age as well, or actually, purple. Take a look. What is he up to? 34 food. I'm going for horse color.
Well, he's got 4 villagers on the left of Arg's base. I assume to continue the tower rush, which hasn't been that effective.
Okay, no, he's not slinging. And, well, it looks like... Yeah, tower rush indeed, but tower rushing... Someone who's already having a very tight base and a lot of vision is kind of tricky. And now Letukan, he ran over the whole other side to get 2 stables up, and that will be some camel action.
Yeah, that'll be very good, though. That'll be very good, especially against Arg, who I think is going to go a few knights. That could be a little bit of a trouble for Aramis in this situation. The towers will help definitely to support, and maybe we could see a siege workshop coming up pretty soon from Letukan. That would be great.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense for sure. And oh, even some villagers on stone going down, more and more towers. It is pretty ugly to play against that.
That's a horrible town center, considering the siege workshop's right there for Aramis.
Oh yeah, he's pulling another one, and I thought, ooh, it's not too bad, but yeah, that's true. But he has zero idea about the attack coming up. He maybe felt, okay, I defended. He's even opening the. Oh no. Okay.
Oh, that's great, and he's gonna be able to get in on those villagers.
Yeah, and they're blocking each other. One got home safe, the other ones, well, they take some slicing, but 2 are going down, and that's buying quite some time here.
I hate when you think that those are your walls when they're actually your opponent's walls, and then they delete them. It's like, what?
What? Yeah, that's what I felt as well. Okay, let's take a look. More quick walls now over here. Villagers going down over at that side as well. And leapfrogging forward with more towers. Aramis, this will be a tricky defense for him.
Yeah, it's suddenly not looking so good for him. On the water, it looks pretty evenly matched. Maybe a few more galleys for Arg. There's a big battle actually going on in the middle right now.
Yeah, and the demo is helping out as well. There might get a good shot off, and yeah, just won the fight for sure. War galleys were added a bit too late. Not a lot of demos here for Hirogashi. Now 1 is coming out. Let's take a look. Can he connect pretty well? Then he can maybe get something like a comeback rolling for himself. Otherwise, it will get really tricky.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, maybe we see a galley switch. We have coinage actually coming down for our yellow player here. So who's he going to sling?
I honestly don't know. Is it the Goth player and they're trying to get a landing rolling? That's something I'd be working out.
Goth's not a good civilization to sling, though, I would think. Is it?
Why?
You don't see it that often,
barracks,
but
right?
I suppose you're right. It could be a good civilization for a lot of food. Certainly, I guess Maxi will have a lot of food coming in because of his fishing ships. Yeah, we'll see what it can do. Oh my god! Look how many rams from Letukan.
Oh, where did he get those from? I'll try to get some
know.
stonewalls up, but that's a bit too late. What is the army here of Aramis? He has nothing. He has 4 spearmen at the moment.
Well, luckily the spearmen will do pretty okay against the camels, but he needs to get more and more pikemen. Maybe he could defend if he gets more, but the pressure's on right now.
Well, he just lost all of them. Lost the first CC as well. More towers now. Pikeman upgrade is coming. Congratulations to that. Now the second barracks. But, well, he doesn't have the greatest eco either. 16 other villagers at the moment.
Yeah, I think that, they should... Do you think they should sling him just so he can make some more pikemen, or do you think you just call it and he's dead?
I think they should have had Tateki over here build 3 barracks and defend that. But, well, now it's tricky now, right? I think, no, just let him die and try to pray that Blue is winning it at the other side.
But here's the thing, though. I mean, he's going to have to get into a transport if he wants to run away because it's walled off.
But still, like, how do you sling him? Then you lose all your aggression at the top there. I think Blue needs to kill Teal and Green now. That's the only option.
Okay, that's fair. It looks like Teal really doesn't have anything in his own base either, so this is potentially a base trade scenario. And
yeah, well, how could he, right?
Yeah, well, what can he make to counter Huskarls, really?
Well, not much. Maybe Knights from Green now is a switch, but Saracen Knights not pretty either. And it feels like Red, he's somewhat surviving.
Well, I think Red might go down, but it's gonna take. I mean, it's gonna take some time. I think that Latukan won't be able to move over to Arg's base and finish that. Maxi's base. Maxi's building some pikemen of his own, actually in his own base. But I'm really scared of the Huskarls. The Huskarls can really take out Latukan. Could even take out Higurashi if he doesn't make some sort of defense really quickly.
Yeah, agreed. And I hate that Maxi is adding pikemen there. We already have the pikeman tech for Rambus. He can control them so much better. Giving the resources could have been the way better option in my opinion. He's winning the water in the meanwhile though, preventing the walls in the very top to go up. Maybe the Huskarls can squeeze through here. It looks like yes they can, and this will be ugly for Latukan.
Yeah, great teamwork in this situation with Maxi using the fire ships to prevent the walls from coming up. And the Huskarls will be able to do some great damage. Again, the problem is, what kind of army do you make? Going to go up with some stables now with some camels, that's not the best option. Maybe longswords would be the best option, but either way, these are some, these civilizations with poor knights, it's really quite a bit of a disadvantage.
Well, will be Hirogashi going for champion line here, trying to defend that. But yeah, I agree. Teal doesn't really have a good defense for that, now breaking through the front as well. So Teal kind of out of it, and Red kind of stabilized. Arg. Are they the favorite here? It's so tough to call.
I think they definitely are. I think if you look at the land battles on each side, they're definitely going to be leading that. Although the water's still contested. But at this stage of the game, the food income that you get is really not as significant.
Oh, it's still quite a lot of fish in the center, for example, and well, Blue is adding some more fishing ships as well there in the top, so it's still working for them quite okay-ish, I'd say. And well, it all comes down to how well Green will defend against Blue here, I believe.
Yeah, we'll see if Takade decides to make a different transition. Maybe he's going to transition to champions themselves. That could be certainly a very good option if he has the resources for it. His economy's not doing that great. It's only at 70 villagers, which is not enough, of course, for a spam. So, and I would like to see Latukan run with some of his villagers. I think he should run back.
Potentially, maybe he's hoping for the help any second now. He is trying to move away with the villagers. And, well, it looks like maybe even a third castle might be around the corner any moment. But now, Green player is coming to help.
Yeah, they might defend from this with the camels together. I think you should wait at least until the two-handed swordsman upgrade comes in to take a big engagement.
Let's see. No one really on the way to PH. We have one player like very close to it, Hirogashi, but Balz is still in feudal age in exchange, so will be so tricky. I have still no idea who has the big advantage here.
I did see coinage for Barles. I think it would make sense if he were maybe to sling Hirogashi.
Well, let's take a look at the sling stats again. He is indeed slinging both Latukan and Hirogashi. In the meanwhile, we have yellow slinging blue. So, yeah, he will stay feudal age till the end of the game, most likely here, Mr. Balz.
But the problem is he didn't wall off on his own base, and now Aramis is already pushing back with monks and pikemen and a few rams too.
And, well, then your sling won't be too great. And, well, Green, he cannot really help. He's trying to defend the north first. And Blue is up to Imperial Age. Will build indeed castle number 3. The raids have been pretty brutal. Still 80 villagers, though, for Latukan. Nice save there.
Well, I'm thinking, what are you thinking if you're slinging and you decide not to wall off your base? Just, why would you do that, as knights are now coming in from Aramis?
Maybe he didn't have the info that the push of Latukan was stopped so heavily. I think you absolutely needed some walls, but also remember, you don't have the water control, so they can easily land. You're also in feudal age, so you only have 900 HP on your stone walls as well. So even if you wall, it won't hold off your enemies for too long.
Yeah, perhaps, but I think it's definitely a must, at least in this situation.
Yeah, I think so. It would have been a better option for sure, yeah. Okay, champion switch now for our player in the blue. Makes a lot of sense. And then he has, well, obviously the weaker champions, but the way cheaper champions against the Saracen player who, obviously, if you pick Saracens, you aren't picking them to take it to champions in the long run.
Yeah, you're not picking them for the champions. That was really sloppy. Hirogashi losing 2 Trebuchets to 2 Huskarls for absolutely no reason. But we're gearing up for quite a bit of a battle on the north side of the map. As hopefully Latucan can get into the Imperial Age and, you know, maybe get some better upgrades on his Campbells or Scorpions. Because at this stage, it looks like we know who's going to win between Goths and Saracens if this is a infantry war.
Yeah, easy choice there. And, well, he doesn't really have that much gold rolling for himself, so it will be tricky. Oh, the big problem still is the other side, where our player in the purple is having quite some problems. I think Lou will just stay defensively, wait for champion upgrade, and then make a big attack.
Yeah, I think so. Luckily, from the Saracens player, they do get a good tech tree, so they're going to go into the hand cannons, which can certainly help out a lot, especially with these kind of choke pointy-ish places. I think that Hirogashi should go back for now and try to avoid a bad fight and try to mass up as much as possible. But he's certainly on the defensive now.
Longsword man against champion might be something good, but he was so heavily outnumbered that he's losing everything at the moment. Now sending some Mamelukes over, but they won't be enough. And GG is flying in.
Yeah, GG's already. Yeah, some weird strategies in this game. Some brilliant ones too, but yeah, some of the execution wasn't the best for some of these players. I liked Maxi's play to go towards the middle and take out a lot of those fishing ships. And certainly Aramis able to defend from the weird pressure from Tia Haribel.
But that should never ever happen, right? You're controlling the center. You just need 3 galleys patrolling the shoreline, and then you add 40 fishing ships with drill nets. You won the game. But they let all their fish die, and well, then if basically your whole eco is fish in the center, and that's taken away from you, both Higurashi and Tukan kind of fell into a hole.
Yeah, and you could argue Tia Haribel as well with all the lost villager time and the walls, which really didn't do too much. So looked like a brilliant strategy at first if they maybe went all in on it and everyone was on the same page and maybe they thought through it a little bit better, but they really didn't make good advantage of it.
Okay, and the home map of NHN will be hills. So
interesting. I haven't seen that one before, I think.
I'm pretty sure you have. It is basically Arabia, but everyone is starting on their small plateau. So it's tougher to wall, and I think it will be very aggressive. And NHN, they looked strong in game 1 here.
Alright, so Nilly, it looks like there were a total of 6 castles this game. And
8 conversions.
Oh, there we go.
So 14 push-ups coming in. Where were the castle stats? I'm confused.
Or maybe it's in the society section, I think.
Ah, castles. Yeah. Okay. My bad. So 14 push-ups, and then we will be back. Game number 3, Hills, the home map of NHN.
I think you should multiply those numbers instead.
What do you mean? 8 times
you should have
6?
the conversions multiplied by the castles.
Okay. No. that.
All right, and I'm back. Game will be starting in any second.
Hi.
Hello. Should be so. This is going to be hills. Should be very exciting.
Yeah, it will be tougher to wall. Team walls are more tricky, and well, it's easier to defend your base with archers, but overall, should be a lot of aggression.
Right, hello everyone. Welcome to the third game in this best of 3 series between ARG and NHN. I'll introduce the first set of players, and then Nilly will introduce the second team. So we have the ARG team in yellow, red, and blue. In blue, on the left side, we have Takade playing as the Huns. In the yellow pocket, we have Maxi playing as the Teutons. And over on the right side, we have Aramis playing as the Goths.
Did they change civilizations again? I think so, right? Completely switching around. I think so.
No, I don't think so, because Berbers is not here.
Oh, no. I mean, Berbers and Vikings are banned, yeah. But I think the ARC players are switching civs again.
Oh, you mean, okay, players to civs. I'm not exactly sure.
Goth in first, Goth in second. And now Huns. In the first one, it was, well, no matter what, we will have the same civilizations as we saw in the Arabia one. We have Mr. Tia Haribal in the Saracen flank. We have again Indian pocket, so good civ advantage for them in that regard. And Hirogashi as a flank, Persians again.
Yeah, this map, it looks a lot like Acropolis. Yeah, you're right. I've of course seen this map. I just not known the name of it. But it's more aggressive than Acropolis, and yeah, I really like it. It's quite nice. It's going to be a very aggressive kind of match.
Yeah, I think so for sure. It is tricky to attack into your opponent because he's always sitting on hills, towers on hills. Obviously, if you're trying to snipe something from distance, you're always doing less damage. But in general, it should play pretty similar to Arabia.
Yeah. With that said, it is a team game, so you know, with a good bit of good communication, a nice coordinated attack, you could of course take the hill. And in fact, it might be hard for them to come back up the hill if you do so.
Oh, yeah, we will see. Bullets in the center, something we need to expand later on. You also have some in the back. Not a lot of extra gold spots on this map, as you can see. 1, 2 tiles of extra gold, something like that. So trading needs to be pretty efficient and early on. Maybe something we want to talk about, the gold spot of our Hans player here in the blue trunks. How much will that hurt him?
Well, yes. Luckily, there's a good sized rush distance between him and Hirogashi, at least for this kind of map. So looks like I think on the right side there'll be a little more pressure. There's of course a forward gold for Aramis as well, which is not so nice. So either way, on that team, the forward gold spots are probably going to hurt them quite a bit, and they should hopefully try to play a very aggressive game because of that.
Yeah, well, let's see about that. Now getting the first board, it looks like our Hans player is going with 4 on wood, so might go for archers here, and well, could do not too well against Persians if he gets onto knights. Indian camels obviously not too shabby against that either. Let's take a look how this all will play out. I want to see some aggression this time from our ARC players.
Yeah, I hope so. I think that I really don't like the the Goths in this particular matchup. You really want the most aggressive civilizations as possible, or civilizations with bonuses to their economy or good cavalry, and really the Goths don't really stand out in any of that regard.
Well, they were the second high seed, so they only had to get the civilizations. They had the choice between those or the 4 Rise of Raja civilization in the end, and wanted to go with Huns, Vikings, Teutons, and Goth. Not too shabby, but maybe not the greatest map pool for them.
Barles, I just noticed taking 10 gold, so I think he's going to go with a Dark Age Rush, possibly, or a Men-at-Arms Rush. With this kind of map, I think that scouts are really heavily favored. Do you think it's possible that... Do you think it would be a good strategy for all 3 players to go scouts?
Well, all 3 players is too much, but 2 players going scouts is viable for sure. Did he maybe just trick Aramis here, or try to trick him? That's...
Well, Aramis definitely saw it.
10 gold there.
He had the scout right in that area, and he's perfectly aware of that. I don't know if that changes how Aramis plays. I mean, Aramis is walling up a little bit, so...
Oh, I think Haribo didn't know about his second boar up to now.
Yeah, well, getting that in pretty late, yeah. A weird start either way.
Yeah. Okay, let's see how they play it out. Letukan, early uptiming here. That will be scouts out of the pocket position. Exactly what we want to see.
I think that he got his sheep stolen too. I saw Aramis' scout just moving around Haribel's base for a while, and now I see 2 sheep going out towards the middle of the map.
Yeah, those have to be his. Maybe a bit more to the left-hand side of his base. And that hurts a bit as well, but he pushed 3 deers, so should be fine.
Should be fine, but you want as much food as possible, so... That's never an ideal scenario. Great uptime from our Indian player. Went up with a 20 population up. I think that's what all Indian players should be doing with that extra food save. And that should be a very strong scout rush from him.
Yeah, absolutely. On the other side, we have potential scouts from Hirogashi as well. He is not on gold yet. And that looks a lot like the scout build order. We have villagers on gold here for our purple player. So it will be double scouts and... 1 player with archers. On the other side, we have double scouts, triple scouts from Ark here, apparently.
Are you sure? Maxi is not going up to the next stage. I think he's going fast castle.
Oh, baby.
With big walls. Yeah. Oh, my God.
And Red is playing Drush into something as well.
So very defensive. Yeah, he's not going up to the next stage either. That's kind of... On this kind of map, that's kind of crazy.
What are they doing? So will be like triple aggression against FC, Drush FC.
Look at this! Look at this wall from Maxi. Where is he going?
Makes 0 sense. Oh boy. Maybe NC won't have the biggest Arabia fail of the day.
Oh my God. This series, man. Just these kinds of decisions are just wacko. They're just off the wall.
Well, that just makes 0 sense to go for those big walls here for sure. Not even sure if he will finish those. Now a barracks, and well, it just means that your teammates are getting heavily pressured as well. Take a look. Haribo, he's now going for men-at-arms. We'll get the clear up here. We'll go for some aggression. For now, quite a nice amount of kills without any losses. Now moves into more gold. I want to see more farms from him as well.
With Aramis, he's building tons of walls too, but they're just going to be walling forever. These maps are just simply not wallable with the resources and with the wood lines. Oh my God.
Well, if you want to wall, maybe the better approach is like Letukan is doing. Very close, like have everything in one screen of your own base and squeeze in the farms and 1 gold spot. But yeah, we can see. Players are still going for the very big walls here. They want to be safe, but I still feel they could be broken.
Absolutely, that gate's still open by that villager, so that scout's going to get in. Not that it matters that much anyway with how open they are. The 3 men-at-arms coming. They could break through the walls as well.
For now, still run around, but yeah, just right-clicking on the palisade gate should be so nice for him already.
Yeah, so Aramis has given up on the fast castle. If he was planning on going for it, he's adding an archer range. We have 4 villagers from Haribel, and it looks like he's going to drop down a tower. With those men-at-arms, that's going to be a ton of pressure coming on to Aramis.
And look where he's building the defensive tower here. Letukan is now coming over as well. The walls are broken. And, well, there will be some dead villagers on the golds for sure. Well, Spearman is coming over trying to help. Some men-at-arms didn't really squeeze in. And those are more villagers and some men-at-arms. I think he can just go for that tower and kill it.
Yeah, I think so. It's not within range of the town center, and luckily though, Maxi has gone up to the next stage with minimal disruption.
For now. And, well, maybe at the cost of one of his teammates, right? Because, well, red is in some troubles for sure. At the other side, what did we see? Green against blue. Seems like scouts won't do much there. Maybe blue with triple range CA can make something happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't count them out yet. I mean, these castle ages have really not been very disrupted. Red is taking some damage, but not... He's not out of the game, or at least not at this stage yet. He's going to lose a villager, though, on his wood line, and his other wood line's being very threatened. Hopefully, he's just going to be able to hold out until nights. He needs to hold out for another 2 or 3 minutes.
That's tricky, right? More towers in your face, men-at-arms are doing some job. In the meanwhile, scouts are harassing your other wood line. He's now trying to move into the tower. That makes 0 sense because scouts are coming over. There's still 1 man-at-arm, and the tower will go up most likely anyways.
Yeah, and Aramis is going to go try to battle down that tower. I think he needs to run with all of those villagers, because this could be a very nasty fight for him. And I think he's got to get out of there.
Look at his KD, 6-14 at the moment. That will be more dead villagers for sure. And, well, completely losing his wood line. Yeah, knights could be coming out any moment from our player in the yellow trunks. But still, heavy losses for red.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a poor reaction from Aramis. I don't know, though. Here comes those knights of our pocket player, Maxi. Gonna go with double stable. And we'll see where he goes first with those, and cavalry archers coming from our Hunt player on the left side.
Yeah, and, well, that will be tricky to counter for sure. Still very open. CA can do quite a bit against basically every single player. Green is maybe the safest at the moment. Can go for some knights, but I think main aggression will really be continuing over at the side of red.
Yeah, so these knights really can't get in onto the base of our NHN players. However, the base of Tia Haribo is very exposed, and that's where I would go first.
True, true. He has very little walls here. Somewhat to the right-hand side, but still open there. Archers very exposed there at the front. Not any upgrades on them either. I'm a bit surprised how open he plays this.
Looks like there's a few scouts moving around in the north side of Maxi's base. However, should get caught out by the spearman. Looks like they might be able to get a villager kill. Actually, that spearman's not really doing his job too well. And it's going to be a villager down there. So try to slow down the pocket player a little bit, but it's a little bit too late for that.
Yeah, okay, let's take a look. The Ace apparently got in here in green space. I have no idea how they managed to do that, but that's a big fail. Oh no, squeezing through the houses there.
That seems like the theme of this series. Just another mistake. That's devastating. I mean, it's going to be another minute before a knight can come out from Hiragashi, and those cavalry archers can just keep running around the town center. If you don't have resources to build knights, then how are you going to defend yourself?
He can build 4 knights for now, but without any defense upgrades then. Take a look, second stable. Trying to get that one up, but that's a lot of idle villagers for sure.
Yeah, Hiragashi going to try to re-wall, but this is a disaster at his base. I mean, I think this could change around the game.
We will take a look here and tries to micro this off pretty nicely, and well, finally the walls are up. 30 villagers for him. In the meantime, we have quite a lot of skirmishes in the very north of red space again.
Yeah, quite a few skirmishers, but I think that you know, those knights should be able to clean up. Looks like Latukan's now up to the next stage. Hopefully we'll be able to build some camels to support his ally, but the damage is quite significant.
And yeah, and that one single wall can really cost you a game here. He needed to be safe, and I said, yeah, other players, they're pretty open, except Green. He's super safe, and oh boy, was I wrong. And well, Green is paying the price for it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's actually, I think, in the worst position at this game, even worse than Aramis. Aramis at least has his economy working, and will be able to do something once he reaches the Castle Age. But yeah, he really needs some help from his teammate, Latukan. And here comes Latukan with four camels coming over.
Yeah, they are missing the +3 defense though, so CA might be able to do something. +2 defense even for Hirogashi, and that's what I didn't like. He went for 2 knights and +2 defense instead of going for 4 early knights. And now let's take a look, trying to engage together. CA, they need to micro here. I'm a bit surprised that he isn't hit and running.
Yeah, absolutely, you need to do that. That's why you go Cavalry Archers, to hit and run. Certainly you don't want to fight against Camels straight up. And Husbandry coming in from Latukan, that's a great upgrade going against Cavalry Archers at this stage of the game.
Yeah, so true. And we need to see Husbandry as well for blue. And now the TC trying to be built, losing yet another villager here, potentially not focusing there properly. And, well, okay, one going down. This is just so ugly. And, well, blue is just playing out of his mind here. Mass CA, he's controlling this game for them.
Yeah, it's going to bode well for him later in the game, since he already has a good mass of Cavalry Archers. That mass is only going to grow larger and larger as the game goes on. And hopefully Aramis will be able to click up to the Castle Age pretty soon here. But Haribel, he's still under so much pressure right now from these Knights of Maxi. Maxi's got a good boom going back at home too. Pretty soon he'll be able to afford +2 armor and potentially more stables.
Well, let's see. He lost a lot of knights at the moment.
Yeah, that was a bad fight.
Well, it wasn't really a fight. It was just him standing there. Okay, now he's moving in again. Bloodlines, but that is again against the hill, and that's what we said. You're always fighting uphill if you're trying to attack your opponent. Now he takes the high ground himself, but lost a knight there before he could really kill the first archer. Haribel surviving better than we thought.
A little bit better, but he's still got to survive for some time now. The Bloodlines is certainly going to help out a lot. I wish we saw +2 armor already for Maxi, but obviously he's investing a lot into his economy. I would have liked to see him go heavier into Knights and really try to do the damage against Haribel as opposed to booming up right now. However, I think that boom will pay off a little bit later in the game.
We'll see, but can you really outboom an Indian player? That's also a tricky question. Maybe he could have done a bit more if he went indeed for the 3 stable early knight +2 defense there, but then again, if your enemy is having the camels out, what can you really do?
Yeah, that's true, but I mean, Latukan's army is really the only one you're fearing right now, as Hirogashi's pretty far behind in this game. I think with Cavalry Archers and with a heavy knight line, should be able to counter the camels from Latukan.
We're always saying Hirogashi is so far behind, but if we look at the real numbers, he's only 8 villagers behind of blue. Well, yeah, blue has a huge army compared to green, but boom-wise, he isn't too far behind.
That is true. So hopefully that Takate will be able to, do some damage with his Cavalry Archers.
We'll see. Maxi now in some troubles, really asking for some help, which he honestly doesn't need.
Yeah, he really doesn't need it.
From 2 under TCs. I think blue just should have gone for purple.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
Maybe for teal, get some kills.
Absolutely. Purple was, he could have been in a terrible position. Almost lost a lot of his archers if only Maxi had a little more support or had better upgrades on his knights, then could have really broken Tia Haribel. But that just didn't happen.
Take a look, we have both of our kind of south players, the more aggressive ones now in Castle Age as well. Not a lot of military for our player in the red though. 41 villagers for him, that's kind of as low as for Tia Haribel. Just feels like blue is not making enough out of his army advantage at the moment.
Yeah, I think that Aramis, at this point, he doesn't have much army. I think he's probably just going to try to boom and go heavy into infantry. So he'll need some time and the support of his allies to hopefully make a lot of army in the Castle Age.
Yeah, it is a tricky situation. I kind of want to advise everyone to go heavy Castle Age here. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to boom up at the moment. For Latukan, maybe the most. Green, well, he's sitting somewhat behind walls, but Haribel, he needs to go for massive army. I'd love to see the Han player going for massive army, and with that, probably the Teuton player as well. Maybe try to catch Latukan before him.
I mean, I think the player that would benefit most from an Imperial Age would probably be the Indian player with the upgrades to the camels. However, It's going to be hard if he decides to not make as many camels as he could, as these cavalry archers, they're in good mass now, and they're really pushing out across the map.
He's adding more camels indeed. Now Imperial camels could be deadly, and that's what I meant. Maybe catch them before they score. Couldn't be closer here. Now the rush, who gets the hill, patrolling in there for blue was a small miss again. What is yellow doing? He is getting away from blue. Small miscommunication there, and well, I'm really weirded out by the two knights going back at home. No, okay. That's a better fight for blue, I believe. The camels not having the greatest engagement. Knights now in the front. And I think that should be better for NHN. They just need to jump on this crossbows now.
Yeah, they should. What is Takada doing? Move in. Oh, man. Yeah.
Are we misjudging this? This is still CA. +2, +1. Bloodlines on them. Oh, boy.
They have all their upgrades except for the last armor, which should be coming in at some point. But they're in the right position. If they're able to take out this army, they'll do massive damage to Haribo.
Where is Yellow's army? That's so surprising to me. Don't tell me he's already... Oh god, he's clicking up to Imp. That makes 0 sense. I think they could have done so much in Castle Age here.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. But either way, they're still not in a bad position, in my opinion. Aramis has been investing heavily into his infantry upgrades this whole time. He doesn't quite have the economy for the spam yet. So, I mean, he's going to try to give as much as he can right now. I would have liked to see a heavier boom before investing so much into these infantry upgrades.
Hirogashi now losing his knights that came over on the way to Imp are 3 players. We even saw Anarchy here for our player in the red, so he will try to make something work with his 60 villagers. And Huskals, they aren't too bad if you only face camels and crossbowmen.
I think the key here is Takade's got to really keep his cavalry archers alive. He needs to keep massing them and get his upgrades. Make sure not to run into the camels and take a bad fight with them, as he might do right here. Oh... yeah, that's not a great fight at all. Oh my gosh.
Getting surrounded is getting away. Maxi, he is up to him now, so maybe wait for the Cavaliers and for your heavy CA and then try to take engagements again. In the meanwhile, red is flooding in now, and that's how Goth are designed.
Well, finally we have the ratings onto purple. I've been thinking it's going to happen all this game, but they really haven't invested as much in Castle Age as they should. So Aramis is going to try to finish the job. He's got the right army composition for it, and certainly Teal will have to come over to try to help out, but Camel's not so great against Huskarls. But, yeah, if I was Aramis, I'd stay in Castle Age and just try to help out with that. I don't think the Imperial Age gives you too much of a benefit, especially with your economy looking the way it does. And I think it's kind of scary, though, that they've gone into the Imperial Age. I definitely like the Middle Eastern civilizations a little better in this situation.
Yeah, probably. I think like halberdiers and then fighting off against, well, a lot of cav actually could be really nice. Maybe even the sling there could have been a good option, because now Maxi going on halberdiers from his home base doesn't really make me happy either.
Doesn't make me happy, but it makes sense as far as the army compositions right now. It's kind of forfeiting an advantage, though, if you need to go halberdiers. So that's not the best thing ever. But hopefully they'll be able to do a little more raiding. Looks like the raiding's kind of getting shut down, actually, in Haribel's base as he goes up to the castle, and there's some forces there to defend.
Once he gets up to like 10 Mamelukes, he should be fine defending that as well. Now the big move in there against the base of blue. I'm not sure if anyone is really happy to take this fight. It's under the TC, so that's not too great for the attacker. And it's just shortly before the upgrades are finishing, so not too happy for Tataki here as well. Seems like he will clear it up though.
Yeah, it seems like he'll clear it up, but kind of at what cost? I mean, they're forced to take an engagement here because otherwise Takade is going to take a lot of losses. However, he's going to lose a lot of cavalry archers in the process, which were not upgraded. Maxi coming in late, and he would have been much better if he were able to come in a lot earlier in that fight.
And it's not like they didn't see that attack coming from a long shot. So I'm surprised, and I really hate that he is building the barracks at home. I think more on the center of the map could have been so much better. Especially just think about it. Persian and Indian both going cav. If he gets onto a halberdier push, it will be really tricky to stop for the left-hand side.
Yeah, absolutely. I really don't like that Takade again lost a lot of his cavalry archers. I don't think they're as useful anymore now that they're not in a good mass. hopefully the Halberdier switch will be able to afford them something, but they need a little bit of momentum to be able to use the Halberdiers. You don't want to use them as defensively. They'll be good against stopping raids, but you want to be able to have some sort of offensive pressure, of course.
I think so as well. Not even upgrading to Cavaliers. It's tricky. Yellow, for now, he gets his barracks up there, so maybe he can get the aggression rolling. Could be pretty nice for him. In the meanwhile, some raids against the back CC of Aramis, who is not really taking care of that attack in the back here.
Yeah, Aramis. Yeah, the camels go after the town centers, actually, doing a little bit of work on them. But there's a castle in the base. I don't fear too much for that. It's interesting to see. Do you think Aramis or Harabel's in a better position?
Doesn't really matter, right? Those two aren't really deciding the game. It
suppose,
feels like probably Aramis just because of the villager count, and he has like more of the aggression at the moment. But in the long run, I'd prefer to have Saracens.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it looks like Takari has a little bit of momentum here as he still has those cavalry archers left over. He's trying to push in on the base, but Paladin's now coming in for Higurashi, and I think that might be enough to be able to push that back. Paladins are just such a huge power spike when going against archery-type units that certainly they'll have to look out for that.
Why is Blue going back again?
Yeah, this is his opportunity before the Paladin upgrade comes in.
He was doing so much damage there at the front, just hitting units without really any losses. Okay, apparently he's called to the other side of the map now, but I think that's the wrong decision. He could have done so much damage there at the front.
Yeah, a lot of missed opportunities for the ARC team. It looks like they had a good position surviving after that fast castle. A lot of Rams in the middle, though, getting upgraded Cap Ram right now. The Halb will be a good unit, but there's not a lot of them. But really, there is no counter to Halbs out on the field quite yet.
Okay, let's take a look. Maybe the castle will go down before it finishes. Would save myself a push-up here, but it feels like 80%. Yeah, the Imperial Camels won't really save it, but, well, Rams not really focusing too well either. What are the Halberdiers doing? Just weirdly taking the high ground there, and the Rams, they're getting pushed back, although the castle should have been under way more pressure.
This is the right army composition for Maxi, but just not being able to mass enough. If he had maybe 10, 20 more Halbs, they would certainly be in a much better position, maybe even able to take out that castle, but just not really, you know, bringing all these factors together for a nice coordinated push.
KCA is now coming over for the coordinated push that you are requesting. And well, Aramis, he's on the way to Imperial Age, and we still see Harable in Castle Age, so maybe they can get the transition rolling there. Now the first big push here towards the base of the Toucan, but only 2 Rams. There were like 8 Rams a minute ago.
My question is why... I think it makes more sense to push in on the weaker player as opposed to pushing in on the strongest player. If they wanted to push on the left or right sides, I think that would have made a lot more sense than pushing in straight through the middle.
Well, maybe they feel they want to pressure the Imcamel guy. And remember, the push with Halberdiers is obviously good against a guy who cannot really transition away from his calf. At the moment, the Imperial Camel's not taking the greatest engagement, and that's even without the Halberdiers at the front. It feels like the pressure in the center is really paying off.
Or it should, at least in a few minutes. Surprisingly, not a lot of raiding going on this game. There was a little bit of raiding going on in Aramis' base, but most of the action taking place mostly in the middle.
Well, yeah. They're trying to make something happen. So where are the Rams? Not really going for more. The castle, if he just repairs the castle, he's buying himself so much time. Because at the moment, again, Ark, I dislike the usage of their army in this game. Could have been such a good spot again. And, well, Yellow, I completely missed that he's getting another castle there up at the left-hand side. And, well, loses
was
one.
Destroyed, yeah. One less push-up.
And look, Toucan with the defensive castle here. Trade isn't really set up from Ark. Hate that.
Yeah, you have to get trade set up nice and early. Oh my god! so many camels. Look at Maxi's base. There's a bunch of Mameluke in the back there getting tons of kills.
Oh boy, yeah. We saw the raid early on, and he's trying to send more villagers to the top, try to get the TC up. But the big engagement here is in the center, where we didn't see the greatest usage of the halberdiers to begin with. CA still doing a great job. The castle at the right-hand side went down. And Imperial Camels, they tried to find another spot. Still, the big question is, who will get the solid trade up a bit earlier? For now, both seems underwhelming.
I think that raid onto Maxi is really going to hurt his momentum. He's very low on resources. Of course, you need a lot of resources to be, you know, making a lot of halbs and a lot of rams. I think that might hurt his momentum going into here, but will it be enough to be able to push up the hill? I don't think it is with all those Imperial Camels and no halbs left.
I think they need to push more from the side of the second castle now. Paladin production isn't really that great either, because I don't see Green having too much of a gold income. Left-hand side, maybe finally he's going for more. And we see the blue player switching on to Halberdiers himself now.
I like that option too. Again, we still don't see any counters to Halberdier in this matchup. Both these civilizations do get gunpowder, but they do require gold, and gold is kind of hard if you don't have trade or you don't have map control for extra gold piles.
Yeah, that's so true. But we saw some extra gold piles in the back there. People are trying to go for it. But look at that. Purple is now having a nice push in his face as well from red. It seems like all three players are going mass halberdiers at the moment.
And that's really what's working for them. I mean, there's no other counter to it right now. The Mamelukes are not heavily upgraded enough to be a good counter to it. Hand cannons are going to be okay, but that's where the cavalry archers come into play. And you know, this could be a little bit of a weakness to all three of these civilizations. All three of these civilizations, these Middle Eastern ones, are very cavalry dependent.
Yeah, so true. Mamelukes are absolutely needed. Maybe Arbalest could have been a better choice. The Mamelukes here just to have a better counter against Halberdier and hand cannoneers. But, well, he's getting pushed anyways. And, well, trade is not going beautifully either.
Luckily, it looks like Higurashi will take over another gold mine on the left. He's got a little bit of momentum if he wants to push into Takate's base. The siege ram upgrade's nice. However, Takate's going to go in for another huge raid. There is another hole in the wall that was over-chopped. And here they come.
Yeah, CAs. Yeah, that's so sweet. And I don't really see the masses here of green player. He's at 30 military. All the other Arc guys are in the late 40s. So military numbers are better for the Arcs. But, well, still a lot of Halberdiers trying to chase down way faster army.
Well, the Toucan has decided on his counter now to the Halberdier and the Cavalry Archer. He's going to go with the Skirmisher, which is, you know, decent, but you don't normally want to go Skirmishers in a team game. And as well, I think their team is really running low on gold at this stage of the game.
Feels like it, and I mentioned it several times. The trade wasn't really set up early enough. You kind of want to start trading, like, very early Imperial Age, maybe on transition to Imp, just build your markets. It does not really hurt to have 10 trade cards early on and then play the beautiful team game and use your civilization to full potential, which at the moment, they can't.
With these army compositions, it really, for the ARC team, it really saves a lot of gold as well. This map doesn't, we mentioned at the beginning game, doesn't have a lot of extra gold mines. The Huns, their cavalry archers are quite cheap. The Goths don't spend a lot of gold on their infantry. And the Teutons player we've seen has transitioned to halbs very early. So that might give them good longevity. They're starting trade right now, which, you know, luckily they've been able to save gold. But we'll see if they're able to maintain this momentum.
Well, we will see indeed. Another big raid here at the left-hand side. In the center, we're seeing raids over and over again. It's still mobility against Halberdiers, basically. NHN, well, they are pushing the center quite nicely here, but it cannot be cost-efficient.
No, it's not cost-efficient. Luckily, though, I think that gold pile that Higurashi just took over is really going to be a game-changer. He's really getting a lot stronger in this matchup as he's able to build more paladins. They're certainly pushing back towards the middle side of the base. There's 4 siege rams there. Might not be enough. Might be enough. It's going to be close. There's the 2 trebuchets as well. This might be enough to push back for the game, especially with ARG not having any trade cards available right now.
Yeah, that's just so bad. And, well, Maxi, he isn't really getting on population. Look at that, pop 125, and he didn't get raided for the last 2 minutes or something. So he just should have all TCs running.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go up. Maybe should ask all his team partners as well for rest.
Yeah, I think throughout this game, Maxi's economy's not been where it should be. He should have had a lot of halberdiers a lot earlier on in the game. He, of course, made the mistake of going into Imp a lot quicker. as opposed to making more knights. And even at this stage of the game, still 80 villagers, 98 for Takade. That's not really acceptable at this stage of the game.
Oh man, but still, Aramis, he is trying to make something happen, right? Next castle for him, and he spams just halberdiers and hand cannoneers against Haribo, who is at pop 140. Overall population, very even.
Yeah, very even. I like the quality of the army of Arg a little bit better. And, I don't know, are they going to be able to deal with this army on the right side? The Paladins certainly are not going to do too much. Camels are not going to do too much. It's just really up to skirmishers at this point.
Oh, and if you mention those are the carrying units, that is never a good sign for sure. Now it's sniping the bombard cannons at the right hand side. Traps are somewhat exposed as well. Not a lot of real eco rate coming in. Not even some more elephants being added.
Just for a little good measure, of course. But I think, I don't know, I think the skirmishers might be enough to hold this on the right side. And it's so hard to tell. I mean, on the left side, Higurashi has lost his gold mine now. Although, I mean, look at their trade. Their trade looks pretty healthy now. They probably won't be needing all those extra gold mines at the stage of the game. Whatever's left.
Well, they have 40 trade to now one single trade card that isn't even running. So now they feel like, okay, let's go for it. But so some Imp Camels controlling that corner as well. Probably the first trade income won't be within the first 60 minutes of the game.
Mm-hmm. And just taking a look at resources, there is a full gold mine and a full stone mine at the top towards Takade. And then back over at Haribo's base, there is quite a bit of gold still left over there. So those are going to be key points for this game that are contested right now.
But look at that, all three players now fighting off against the guy who was pushing so well, and suddenly 50 military, 60 military evaporating there against the Paladins in the front, so many CA in the back. He's doing still an okay job, some Rams taking some of the damage, and Huskard's well positioned there in the back. That's actually a pretty good fight here for our red player, considering that he fought 3v1.
Well, he needs more support from Maxi. Maxi's, speaking of resources again, he's got a full stone mine and a full gold mine in the middle, but has been rebuilding his population, but because that really doesn't have a lot of army out on the field at this moment. But he really needs his teammate to step up.
But honestly, that was so well done by him. All the Halberdiers got rid of the Paladins, then some Huskars sneaked through the back of all the skirmishers, cleared those up. I thought it was a clear cleanup, but well, it's looking good for Red at the moment, and Blue has a sick army at the left-hand side as well.
Yeah, I'm liking a little bit Arc's position. I think with those extra resources, they've got really a lot of access to the extra resources on the map. They should have enough momentum, I think, to close out the game, possibly. But that said, if the game goes a little bit later, certainly that trade line is going to be very beneficial for the NHN team.
Okay, let's take a look. It just feels like Arc, they need to finish it within the next, I'd say
10 minutes.
6-7 minutes. Oh, 10 minutes, reasonable as well. Otherwise, we will have Imp Camels, Paladins, Mamelukes against Halberdiers only.
I think it's possible. The left side's looking great. We have even some keeps. Keeps are coming up in the middle for Arc. I think they just need Arc if they have. I think they need Maxi. Just to be able to give them a little bit more, and I think that should be enough for the game. Castle coming up in the middle as well, onto another stone mine.
Yes, 120 villagers now working for himself. The traps of our Hans player moving forward, he's taking to banking. Perfusion for the Ghost player, he will really spam this out. And well, people are just sending in the wrong units against the Ghost player, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely, they definitely need a lot more ranged units in the mix. Or even some siege. We haven't seen any siege other than Rams this game. Not that these civilizations are known for it, but it would be very beneficial in this situation.
Take a look, Green. How far can he keep Blue away from the trade? He has one castle there. Now takes into skirmishers himself, trying to defend this. Tries to hold, but that's not the biggest protection. And if they lose the trade, they're basically losing their main advantage.
That's just too many units, I think. All of those cavalry archers. That's a lot of army.
Oh, and another castle here from our student player who only has fletching though. So really want to see some more upgrades.
Oh
in
man.
Castle.
That's a bummer. Elite Teutonic Knight? What? What?
What?
It makes sense. There's no ranged units really.
Oh man.
I think it makes sense. Another castle coming up.
I don't think he really has the gold. I think he should invest the first 1,000 gold into some reasonable trade, and then maybe later go for it.
Yeah, or Rams with the Tudens unique tech would be good too. So this is gonna be. They're gonna try to push back here on the left side. We have 2 players here versus the 1 player, Takade. Let's see if those helps can do some work.
Oh, I think he will just hold them off. Trap should have maybe unpacked, and now after all the helps fall down, he maybe should retreat a bit more. Some more halberdiers are coming over, but a bit too late if you ask me. Will lose lots of his aggression after losing all the traps.
Yeah, I agree. Should definitely retreat and try to save those cavalry archers for a later day.
Right now with 17 trade cards, and if he just is able to continue spamming Huskarls, that could be fine for his whole team. Because the other side is just pushing with, well, still Elite Teutonic Knights, and they have to be so scared. They think, okay, we blocked their trade so well, we might have a good chance. And suddenly one guy is coming up with Elite Teutonic Knights?
I have to say that Maxi is once again a few minutes too late to the party. He should have been here during that big fight that we just saw, but those Teutonic Knights are just cleaning up everything. There's no answers to them at all at this point.
Oh man, yeah.
Can you imagine this, a game where the Teutonic Knight is actually, might be the game decider in a high-level game?
I've never seen that before, right?
Not for a long time. The right side's done, though. I mean, look at the units coming in from for Aramis. I think the right side's done.
Spamming this so well indeed, and yeah, hand cannoneers, he's trying to get the numbers out, but at the moment military count 5, and the other team has, what is that, 230? That's ridiculous, 200.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be the game. I mean, just so much spam coming in from Aramis. Finally, Maxi is making another contribution to this game, and might be the nail in the coffin. Takade still has all of his cavalry archers alive. And it's kind of funny because this is the team that, you know, took so long to get their trade up, but they're winning it right now. And GG.
Oh man, map control and simply the cost efficiency there with all the mass halberdiers. What a great game.
What a great game. I think that certainly the ARC team should have taken a lot better fights in this game. It gave the other team a great opportunity there to come back, but that fast castle at the beginning, you know, ended up not defeating them at the very beginning. And then just the halberdiers. I mean, the Pokeboys, they're the big highlight of this game. Just no counters to them towards the early Imperial Age, as none of the players making any ranged units to counter them.
Man, yeah, that's so weird, right? Maybe not going Mamelukes, but just stay on Arbalest could be the better option. But, well, Persians, they were kind of one-dimensional there as well, having so many problems at the start. Didn't really allow him to maybe go for halberdiers himself.
Yeah, absolutely. So the army composition's really making a difference this game, and the map control as well.
Okay, let's... Oh, I missed the stats.
Please, I got it. Okay. I want to make sure that you get in all your push-ups and become nice and strong.
Castles and...
So castles? Oh boy. So Maxi started building a lot there towards the end. So we have 5 from Maxi. So 18 castles.
What?
18 castles, yes.
Okay.
And 3 units converted.
Okay, 21 push-ups. Sick! Didn't expect that. 18 castles. Okay.
So the next series is going on now, I think.
Yeah, let's maybe just instantly jump over in that.
Oh, but you're trying to skip your push-ups. Maybe you got to do them later.
Yeah, I will do the push-ups. Yeah, I will do the push-ups for sure. So it seems like they're just coming outside of the game. So it is Roar. Against VN.